Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and since it's Women's History Month, I'm here today to talk to you about Power Rangers Megaforce United We Stand. So this is a Gia Emma episode, and to be completely honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of Megaforce. I keep trying to watch it, hoping it'll get better, but I just can't get into it. Now, Super Mega Force, on the other hand, I can get into that. I own that one on DVD. And so with that one, I like it because, of course, they get to change into other Rangers and stuff. I think that's so cool. Plus, the storyline started to get a bit better, and they have a sixth Ranger and stuff. And he's silver of all things. And so with this, I don't know. I think this is when Saban really goofed up. He tried to combine two different Sentai series together with the same cast. Now, it's been done before with his creative team back in the Fox Kids days, but his new creative team here just kind of floundered on it. And the story between, this alien invasion that's coming, first it started off with these alien bugs, and then like an admiral type dude, and then supposedly this prince type dude who came in later. Then all the monsters changed in the next season. They still had their powers from the Megaforce season, and then they had their powers from the Super Megaforce season, and they kept interchanging in Super Megaforce. It just got so confusing, man. Plus, they was trying too hard to emulate Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I can't talk. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the two Ernies, the song. It was just too much, man. And then the worst part is they interfered and micromanaged how the Rangers are. From their acting to what they wore. It was weird seeing them dressed in the same clothes in every episode. And they go to school. That's what was so bizarre about it. But this episode is rare where the girls actually wear new outfits in the beginning for whatever reason. And then they change back up to their regular outfits in the rest of the episode, and that just makes absolutely no sense. Something in Saban's head should have been like, this is wrong, but knowing him, he probably never watched it, because he didn't even know who Karen Ashley was when she took over as the Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger. And when he met her for the first time at the movie premiere, he had no idea who she was. So I doubt he watched Megaforce and everything. But and since he didn't watch, he think the people could have got away with stuff. They could have on the show, but they didn't. And this was back when they really micromanaged stuff. They weren't even allowed to take pictures or nothing. The actress who plays Gia, she got in trouble for posting a picture of something on set. Maybe her costume, I don't know what. She got reprimanded for it, and she had to pay a fine, she said. So they were really micromanaging back in the day. But nowadays, you can take pictures of all you want and everything and post them, because Hasbro's a lot different. And so with this episode, this is your classic Pink and Yellow Ranger rivalry episode. However, it's not done as great as some of the ones in the past, like In Space or Lost Galaxy. However, this does make for a very hilarious episode. So Gia and Emma, they have been friends ever since they were 6 years old. And they try to do everything together. And in the beginning of this episode, they're going bike riding. And bike riding is something Emma does, in the intro. Cutest moment ever. After she says her name and her name appears and everything, she kind of hits the brakes and she kind of skids and turns a little bit, and she has the cutest smile as she's looking into the camera, y'all. And so, speaking of the intro, I hate when they say their names. I hate it in Samurai, and I hate it here. Thank God they have stopped. Also, thank God they have stopped with the weird type of not intro, but it's kind of prologue or something like that. I hated when they did that in every episode. It got annoying. Plus, have they never watched Power Rangers before? They're all like, the world was at peace until the evil Empire people came, and it only takes like the Megaforce Rangers to stop them. I'm just thinking to myself, fools. Technically, for 30 years as of today, every stinking year, the Earth is in chaos by like monsters and aliens, and there's always a team of Rangers to stop them. So this ain't the first time. So the Earth has always been in danger. Then, if you really want to get technical, you know, like in Wild Force and Mystic Force and Samurai and Ninja Steel, have depicted Rangers being around for thousands of years. So even 1,000 years ago, the world was in peril. So what the crap is this whole, like, the world was safe until these people came? Like, nah, man. Have y'all never, did you even watch the last season? Seriously. Seriously. So that started making me think, wait, is this in a parallel dimension? But anyway, I digress. And so those two were out in the woods, and Emma takes a picture of a very rare flower that she has now identified. Emma is a photographer, and she loves taking pictures of stuff. Now, this flower has no significance to the plot. It's not there to save the day or cure nothing. It's just something she discovers. They literally could have talked about something else. They didn't have to go that extreme. It makes you think something is really special with this flower. Anyway, they go to a place and get the pictures developed. And wouldn't you know, it's one of those hour development places. Those things still exist? What the heck? Put that thing on the computer and print it out yourself. And to tell you the truth, when I was around town a couple of years back, I saw one of those hour disposable places. Who does that nowadays? Like what? An old person who doesn't have a digital camera or like a phone? Oh boy, I swear to God, man, it's like we're in the future now. Oh boy. So anyway, there's a monster that get called from Gosei. I hate Gosei, by the way. I just don't like him. I don't like Gosei at all. That little Zordon wannabe. I'm tired of him always talking. When they call their Zords, he talks. When they call their weapons, he talks. When they morph, he talks. It's like, shut up, dude. And so their morphers are gigantic in this season. Like, my God. I know it's based off the Sin type, but my God. And so, like, they morph and they fight like this monster. And so the girls just blasting away and they defeat whoever it is. And at some point in this episode, Emma's all like, you know, this monster didn't seem like an insect and blah, blah, blah. Now, I forget what this storyline's about because if I only really watched this once or twice in its entirety, probably, you know. And so, like, there's a new monster in the form of like a bee type lady, and she's really sassy and she's really cool too. And so she can make any man, like, you know, do what she wants. And she puts the spell on the girl, some type of like poison, and it causes the girls to be angry at each other. So they rip up their picture that they took together, and they each have the other person's half. Emma, of course, can Gia can ball hers up and just throws it on the ground. But Emma, when she tries to ball it up and she throws it on the ground, it just comes back as the regular picture. And every time the actress tries to be mean and rude, she just looks like her sweet, cuddly little self. Because she's too sweet and innocent sounding. I love her voice, by the way. It is adorable, man. Now, she did audition for the Yellow Ranger. But, of course, as we know, she would have never gotten that because she's Asian. And so, like, the actress who plays Gia, she auditioned originally for the Yellow Samurai Ranger, but then she left not feeling too comfortable with the audition. She just felt like it wasn't right and everything. And she felt like, this just isn't for me. But then she tried out for, of course, Megaforce and got it. And I'm happier because Samurai is not a good season. Now, I wonder what made her feel like she just wasn't right enough for the role. Thankfully, the mentor on Samurai didn't do anything to her. And I'm surprised he hasn't done anything to them Rangers, because he did something to some other girls. Look that up. It's disgusting and gross. And I hope they never rehire him again, which knowing them, they probably won't. I hope nobody hires him again and everything. I hope his career ends, because what he did was wrong and everything. And so, like, now that they're under the spell and they don't like each other, they can't get along when they fight. So the guys, they try to fight, and something I've noticed when they morph? When they do that backflip and they all like Megaforce, and then they say like their color. Look at the person who's doing the backflip, because one, it ain't them, because it ain't them. And two, the person looks Asian and their hair looks completely different than like the actual actor. Like, I've noticed that. It can't be a CGI person because it looks too good to be CGI. Cause I've seen them do CGI before, like in Ninja Storm and stuff. But this looks like an actual person. An Asian stunt double, if you will. And I'm just kind of like, you could have photoshopped their face on them or something. And so the guys get defeated very easily and they get put under the spell. So now, just like with all the other men in the city, they have to do whatever the bee wants. And the female rangers literally can't get along. They keep trying to use their weapon, but like they can't even assemble it right because they don't go together. So they're arguing and bickering and all this other crap. And it makes for a pretty hilarious bit. Like, I like how those two argue with each other, especially the Pink Ranger, because she sounds so adorable. So the guys have to literally pamper the bee lady. What is it? Jake has to like fan her. Troy has to like file her nails. And what's the Blue Ranger's name? I forgot. But he has to massage her feet, and they are gross, and stuff is coming from them, and it is nasty. And so the girls are all like, Emma apparently can track, and so she's all like, a branch has fallen down, so let's go this way. But Gia don't want to, so they go their separate ways, and Emma finds him first. And then Gia shows up after Emma gets her butt kicked. And so as the girls getting their butt kicked and everything really bad, the guys are all like, look, man, you've been friends ever since, like, you were 6 years old. And so then Emma, for some bizarre reason, can hear the voice of Gosei in her head. Like, shut up, Gosei. I can't stand you. And so he's all like, the power of friendship and love can break this spell. And everything. And so somehow not only does it break the spell, but it breaks the vines. And now they're cured. Huzzah. And now they can work together to whoop some behind. And which they do. And so like they free the guys from like the spell. I think they actually do destroy the monster because now the force field has dropped and the guys can now talk and take their hands off their mouth. At least I don't think they called on the Zords. And stuff like that. But basically, of course, the message of the day is that friendship is powerful and the power of love will conquer all. And I get kind of tired of that storyline. That's in everything, man, especially in Disney stuff. And, I don't know, it was an okay episode. I've seen better rivalry episodes before in other seasons, but this was all right, I guess. At least they was under a spell this time as opposed to just being pissy at each other and stuff. And so at the end, they're at their little juice bar, froyo place, or whatever you want to call it. And Emma submitted the picture that she took with Gia. And so they're talking about how, they discovered that flower. And at first, Gia looks like she's pissed, but then she's happy that, she gets to be in the newspaper with her bestie and everything. And shut up, Gosei. Happy Women's History Month, everybody. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.